Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets this very beautiful morning. Like I will always say, thank God for the gift of life. It's because we are alive that we are here today. A big shout out to every single person joining me live. Thank you so much for your share of your time. I do appreciate it. And like I will always say, please like the video, share it, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets. And for those that will watch thereafter, I say a big thank you. Thank you so much for a share of your time. I do not take it for granted at all. And I will also ask you a favor. Share it to your friends. This particular edition is something they don't want to miss. And it's a Father's Day edition. And with me in the studio this beautiful morning as we celebrate fathers is a passionate catalyst for change who has the mandate to increase the quality of parenting and methodology of nurturing African children as well as families into greatness while maximizing their full potentials. He's an accounting graduate from the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, Ogun State in Nigeria. Is a member of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered NIM. Is a fellow Institute of Management Consulting, FIMC. My guest had a short stretch in Mobile Producing Unlimited Nigeria and then also in Reliance Bank Limited, and later started a private business where he majors in financial brokerage. He's been involved in youth counseling in his local church before he was fully called into the parenting and educational ministry in 2011, which he pursues with vigor and passion till today. He has a practical certificate in public speaking, business consulting, childcare, parenting, and family advocacy and education consulting. He's a Generation Z facilitator. That tickled me. A Gen Z facilitator certified from Growing Leaders Atlanta in US. Is a social and emotional learning facilitator. Is an emotional intelligence certified trainer. Is a certified family life practitioner. His track record on advocacy on parenting can be traced across sectors, following the need to consolidate diverse project efforts and interventions from within the parenting space. Is a consultant, is a speaker, is a trainer, is an author, is several things in one. I'm going to bring him up just after this very brief timeout. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, join me to bring on stage today as we talk about fatherhood, the changing face of fatherhood, and something everybody must hear. Join me to bring on stage Akinropo Akinola. Hey, thank you so much for being here, sir.
Well done, ma.
Thank you, and happy Father's Day to you and to all the fathers out there.
Thank you for celebrating us. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. So this morning, I'll just throw it at you straight because I know that we have a limited time, and fatherhood has changed, at least from the time I was growing up. When I was growing up, I had the benefit of having a very loving, caring father, being the last child, but it was not always like that. My siblings would tell me, you came when life was easy. You came when daddy has become soft. You came when we can now play with daddy. When we were growing up, it wasn't like that. And I'm like, I didn't experience that. But when I mix with my friends and see their relationship with their fathers, I could understand what my siblings are saying. And then today, I don't think a father that time can survive today. So it looks as if the face of fatherhood is changed. And I think the roles too is changing. What is this face? What's this change? What is it all about? Let me throw it at you, sir.
Okay, so when they say, especially from your experience back in the day too, you know, we had some very last born children you know, even some of the people around us, they will always say that if you had come when your father was still at his prime, that you will not
Yeah,
find that you will not find it funny.
true.
So, in so much, I want to appreciate those involvement. I want to appreciate every of their input. But these days, a lot of things that have changed, in fatherhood. There are so many, which I believe that everybody listening now or that will still be watching this later will agree with me. So, number one, I want to talk about is about child safety.
Mm.
Child safety. When we were growing up, they left everything about child safety, child nurturing, what again, the child education.
Yeah,
Our some of our fathers then they left all those responsibilities in care of our mothers
yeah,
because they believe that once they are able to take care of the home financially, even though not many of them were even so responsible, in that sphere. But they just believe that even when things were not really going right, when they were not really making that money, they still had this excuse that me, I've gone out from money to go and look for what these children are going to eat, and now you can't even do this simple task of watching over them or of looking after them. And again, when you even ask them where is even the money that you claim that you've got, just little or nothing to show for it, right? With due respect to people who actually made that sphere so interesting and so engaging, right? So such that any challenge any
yeah,
child faced back in the day, they heap the blame on the mothers.
true.
They heap the blame on the mother. But now in the last 10, 20 years, especially in the last 20 years, right? People have come, in our advocacy,
Mm.
people have risen up to say no, fathers can't continue to limit themselves to the
Mm.
traditional role of provision alone. You need to come out of your hiding. We need to know
Mm.
more. These children need to know you. They want to hear more about you. They want you to connect with them. It's not just about the provision or punishment, beating. I know in some homes, once the mother say, I'm going to report to your dad. I'm going to report. The children will be begging, no, 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 no. But there's something that the mothers or everybody had forgotten. Now look at it this way: a father who had gone to work, who had gone, to look for business, to look all those things, and by the time he comes back, the next thing, oh, mother, they say that, oh, you are welcome, well done, how is it, how is it? Then the next thing the mother says is to say, see what this boy did, oh, see what this girl, see what these children did. So the um the wahala, let me say that the frustration out there that the father faced.
Mm.
The check didn't come out on time. The contract didn't click. The too much unnecessary distractions from the office, harassment from the office, too much issues from the office, and the mother just tells the father that this is what these children do or did when you were away. Two things will happen. If you see or rather meet a father who really doesn't have anything to prove, eh,
Mm.
that father will take the transferred aggression, will be on
Mm.
the children. This is something I witnessed.
Transfer the
The
aggression.
transferred aggression will be there, and the father will say, what do people, what do you do? Yeah, yeah, you guys, yeah, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, yeah, line up, give me your hand. Pa, 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 pa. What's this? And even the mother will not
Mm.
have the guts, to ask the dad, then how far has the money coming now?
As the
Because the
contract
dad,
click.
so some of these that they will even take that anger, they just go and sleep with nonsense. I will go since morning. I will, and you people will be doing all this. Then the following money is out again,
Mm.
right? So that is one angle. Another angle is this: if you see a father who will really beat the children, even though he's providing everything in the home, the provision is top notch, right? If you see a father that want to beat them because the mother reported the children, now that father had not really dealt with early emotional childhood life. Because
Mm.
when something like that happened when he was younger, his father beat him. His father beat him. And now another report had come in. The wife reported the children, or maybe some of the neighbors report the children to the man. So the man want to, really want to play hard on the children. That while I was growing up, all these things never happened. So that is living your life through the eye. I mean, living the life of the raising the children through the eye of how you were raised. Through the eye of how you were raised. So two perspectives I gave in that area. But these days, in the last 20 years, we people have increased the advocacy that fathers, it is not enough for you to do the discipline or the punishment and provision alone. These children need to be seeing you every day. That was actually
Mm.
what gave back. That was actually what gave back to my first book in 2018, May 2018. Daddy, where are you? So we
Mm.
are saying kudos to you. You provide the money, you provide the discipline, you provide every other thing that we want in the home. But there are certain things that if fathers don't do, if the children don't see fathers do it, the children will never connect. Because
Mm.
most of those things that fathers claim they do, they are normally the back end activities. Back end activities, because when you come back, you want to give the mother the money
Mm.
for the home keep. Children will not always be there to see you crediting the account of their mom.
Mm.
Children will not always there, even if you are the one paying the school fees. If you are not really crediting the account of the mom that is paying the school fees, I mean, credit the amount of them, the mom goes to pay. Even if you are the one paying, yours is just to do credit into the school, and you tell the children, I have paid your school fees, so please go. Those things matter, but they
Mm.
don't always connect
Mm.
with the souls of our children. It doesn't always connect with their soul, right? They don't see it in action. Before they will be able to comprehend those activities, the financial provision, before they could be able to comprehend it, that is when they've almost gone out of secondary school and they're in the university. Even most of them, when they begin to work, that is when they want to appreciate, wow, these are the real issues, the
Mm.
financial challenges, the hustle and bustle of the economy that my father or my parents went through. At the moment when you were paying the money, they did not see anything. They just
Mm.
felt that is crediting. That is crediting the account. Oh, daddy has money. Daddy is doing this. So those things don't really matter, quote and unquote, in their life. At the moment, I mean,
How you are
during their
doing?
formative years. So what matters most to them during their formative years are, what does this man do to me in my personal development? How do
Mm.
I see this? How do I see my dad every day? How does he relate with me every day? Is this my dad someone who I could open up when I feel down, when I'm going depressed? Is this man someone I can open to when somebody try to harass me outside, when someone wants to abuse me outside? Is this man I can open to when we have some conversation in the school among my friends, when they're talking about sex, sexuality, they're talking about all manners of sexual preferences, sexual orientation? Is my dad somebody I can open up to explain to me what this all about? Is my dad available? What time will I
Mm.
see my to explain all this to him? I know my mom is always there, but at least I want to get perspective from my father, from men. He's a man. is a man. I need to get something. How did he manage? I am a boy of 12-year-old, 11-year-old, or 13-year-old, and there is this urge to masturbate. There is this hormone that is developing in me, and I feel this thing in the night. So is my dad always available? Do we have relationship? Do I have relationship with my dad such that we just sit him down one day that, Dad, did you really encounter this issue when you were growing up? Why did you ask? Because I just think that I'm facing this thing. So is that available, right? Or maybe in the school as a girl, you and your friends, they were discussing about marriage, they're discussing about premarital sex, they're discussing about infidelity in marriage, they're discussing about polygamy, they're discussing about almost everything. Now I've spoken with my mom, but I need to get my father's perspective. What is my father believe about polygamy? What is my father's perspective about promiscuity? What is my father's line of thought, about infidelity in marriage, about unhealthy marriage that we see around here? What is my father's perspective about this? Is my father available, or does my father have the content, the rich content to dispense me with? Because I always tell parents, I tell fathers that it is not always about our availability. We may be with these children 24/7. If you don't have any right content to dispense with them, we are just like TV. We are just like a screen to them. They just be looking at us like this. Because once our children begin to know more than us, there is a problem. If our children are not comfortable with us asking us questions, or if they believe that if I ask daddy this question, the only thing my dad will give me is just to warn me. My dad will not give me anything engaging. It's just to see that why are you asking that question? Don't tell me you started having boyfriend. Don't tell me you started, all those things. So they just keep quiet. They keep to themselves. If daddy is at home, if it's not at home, no problem. Because they know, they are intelligent to know who gives them right answer. And if you want to ask me, even 5-7 years ago, I'm not sure we had anything about AI, artificial intelligence. I'm not sure we have. We don't have. ChatGPT just came in 2 or 3 years ago, right? So now, if fathers still want to stick to the traditional role of only providing, and I cannot kill myself, only providing, only maintaining discipline or punishment or whatever, we are in for a long thing. We need to be actively involved in their life. And I want to beg every father not to start this late. Start early. As the children, as they are coming from the womb of their mom, start it early. And when you are starting it early, as they're growing up, find time to know the time they will be most receptive to you. I've seen many fathers complain about this, that what else do they want me to do? I am here for them 24/7. I always ask them, can we talk? We can't be asking our children that, can we talk? You can only do that if that thing is well structured in the home, that you know that maybe every Friday evening or every Saturday evening, that is an open day. It's an open day whereby everybody will voice out what is happening. That one open day whereby everybody will voice out what is happening is different from a receptive moment we can connect with our children. It's different. Wow. And I will tell us why it is different. Open day, whereby they can voice out what we are going to be discussing, what we are likely going to be discussing during open day, may not be that intimating. It may not be that, because they just said openly, oh, daddy, last week, I don't like the way you speak. You spoke to mom. I don't like that. Or mommy, and you're always angry anytime we say this. I don't like that. Oh, mommy, can we change our menu in this house? We've been eating too much of rice. Those ones are just there. But we're talking about intimate discussion. Intimate discussion can only take place at the most receptive moment of these guys. So we need to know into that. Look into
Wow.
that. When do you think these children can connect with you? And guess what? And you know how they can connect with you through, through when they initiate a conversation.
Mm.
Anytime your children initiate a conversation, please seize the moment. Seize the moment. That moment may not be when you really like. That moment may be when you are so busy, when you are so locked up, in activities. It may even be when you come back from work, maybe around 9 p.m. And the minute they hear your steps or they hear the honk of the car, or maybe you open the door, the mommy goes to open the door, anybody goes to open the door, you just be surprised that maybe you are just in the parlor trying to discuss with your mom or even try to eat something, maybe a light food. They just open their door and they come. Daddy, welcome. How is your work today? There's this thing I want to talk with you. Please, I want to
Season.
beg fathers, seize the moment. That moment is most receptive to them. It can even be in the night. Maybe when you have slept, they could knock your door. Your boy could knock your door. Your girl could knock your door. Dad, I'm sorry, I know you are sleeping. I can't sleep. Can I have a talk with you, please? Don't tell the child that, no, 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 no. I want to rest. I want to rest. Please don't do that. And that is why I appeal to anyone who has not married yet. If you know you want to marry, you want to raise children, you want to bring forth children in that marriage, please get ready.
Mm.
It is not enough to tell the children when they begin to come to this world that they can't kill you, that they can't kill you with their problem.
Wow.
If you know they can't kill you with their problem, don't bring them to this world.
Don't bring them.
Don't bring them. Like one of my pastors will say, these children, they sat down jeje before the Lord, before God. They were enjoying their life in the garden of Eden. They didn't know any evil. They didn't know anything good. They were just there, bland before God. They were having good fellowship with God. They joined the 24 elders, worshiping God, saying to God, holy, holy, holy. No, you are the one who said you want them to come and experience a life here on earth. Leave heaven. What are you guys doing there? So now they are here. And you begin to complain. Please, if you know you can't have time for the children, marry someone who will connect with you that I just want us to be in this marriage. We don't want to raise any child. We are not raising any child. So this is who we are. So that is, when we speak like this, people will always think that maybe we are trying to pamper these children. We're trying to create all the times for them. It is not like that. Because regardless of how money that we have invested on them, regardless of how we have struggled just to make sure that they become somebody in life, if that connection is not there, if that relationship is not there, these guys, they will grow up without knowing how to engage relationship, because nobody has ever modeled right relationship with them. Nobody has ever shown them. Nobody has ever shown them. They don't know how it feels like to engage people. They don't know. Okay, let me say this. This may sound somehow. How come some of us back in the day, during our teenage years, when we were dating, when we tried to come and to speak to a lady, even at 2021, whatever, the moment that lady visited us, what was in our head was to take the lady down. The art of engagement, zero. The art of cutting relationship, zero. The art of friendship, zero. Because we didn't know. Some of our fathers never engaged our mothers. Some of us, the only time we saw our fathers with our mothers were in the night, when all of us would just sleep in the parlor or the corridor and just see our fathers, sneaking into the room. During the day, nothing. Once our mothers prepared the food, they gave our dad eat. After the food, the dad sit on the couch alone, doing nothing. The mothers, they return to their rooms, doing nothing. Then in the night, they come together again. So what we saw our fathers do to our mothers was the same thing we replicated when we started dating. The art of engagement is zero. And that is one of those things that we must really teach our children now, that fathers back in the day didn't do. Then talk of child protection, sexuality, sexual education and sexuality, right? It is the father's responsibility to institute a policy, child safety policy in the home.
Wow.
It is your role. You are the chairman or president of an organization called your family. Your wife is the vice president or vice chairman or deputy MD. That is the role of your wife. You take the lead, dissipate the enemy, initiate the conversation, initiate the policy, and split it in the home. Let the children know this is what I'm going to do, and let them know if I'm not around, it is responsibility of your mom to take over this. When anything happens to you, when I'm around, let me know. If anybody harasses you or someone tries to intimidate you, first off, we tell them the intimidation or harassment or whatever starts from the mind. So it's our responsibility to teach our children on how to sight a predator, even from afar. We must teach them when someone looks at you in a particular way, that is a red flag, especially a man to a girl, right? That is a red flag. We let them know with that look, try to maintain a sensible distance from the person. So the daughter or the boy should be able to come home and relate all those moves with the father. That there's something I noticed in school today, or there's something I noticed in this area today. Then what are we going to do about it? What happened? This is this something that happened. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. But once I'm not around, let your mom take over this. All these things is not by word of mouth. They are all documented in child safety and protection guidelines. Made available to all the children in the home. Even the younger ones, as young as like 2 years, they know what to do about everything that wants to happen to them. So all this responsibility, they are just a changing culture about how father used to be back in the day and how father used to be now. And another thing about that sexual education is this. Back in the day, it was made easy. Even though our fathers then, some of our fathers then, didn't really seize the opportunity to even teach us sex education effectively. Because back in the day, average family had a room and a parlor. Average family had a room and a parlor, right? So TV was only made available. The activities on TV only made available around 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Every day, and closed by 10 or
10.
They started 11, 10 after NTA network. Then later they extended it to 11, then later to 12 a.m. when everything goes off, right? So you have no right to want to access any TV, anything, because once the father comes out of the room, he sits straight into the parlor. The TV, the radio is there, and once your dad switch off the radio, you can't come there again to switch it on, because you know that when your dad comes out, your dad will see you do it, and there is grave consequence for that. But now these guys have all these things at their palm.
Yeah.
They have the phone, they have devices. Even if you withdraw the phone from them, they have some of their friends who has the phone. So what are fathers doing in teaching them all this area? Like we'll always say, empowerment is better than enforcement. It is not enough to want to withdraw the phones from the children. It's not enough to even want to code, to password the phone. It's not enough to want to set the limited screen time. It's not enough. Should these children find a way out of it? How do they manage the information they see from the screen? How do they manage the information their friends expose them to? So these are the things we need to let them know that fathers didn't do back in the day, but now we have to begin to do them. Let me stop now.
Wow, wow, wow. Obviously, we are talking to somebody who is so passionate about something, an advocate by excellence. What did I expect? I just kept writing. I didn't even know where to stop to ask the questions, but it's been very informative. But we'll pause here today because he's coming back next week. I know you have questions. I have questions. I want to be asking on a larger scale because the truth is this, sir. When we were talking about all of this, I was asking myself, who taught us parenting? We know who, I mean, for you to become a doctor, you learn. For you to become an accountant, you're trained. For you to become a parent, you arrive. You just find yourself there. You get married, you have the children, and boom, you're a father, boom, you're a mother. Nobody consciously took us through the art of parenting like it's being done today. So that is a major issue. And I began to think about it. What even made us think that the role of a father is just provide and discipline? The ultimate father is God, and he is love. He is there for us. He says, call unto me. He wants us to talk to him, and he talks back to us. But the physical father just came from the macho point of I provide, I discipline, I have no time for any other thing. And it was just something that people just imbibed, as that's the way fatherhood is. That's who a father is. The father is something that you hear the honk of his car and you disappear. But things are changing. And like rightly said, the digital space is playing a whole lot of role in that area. It's opening the eyes of children. So if you don't want your children to know, the internet will teach them. If you seize their devices, their friends will give them. And things are changing. The face of fatherhood has been forced to change. Now, fathers, is your role to relate with the children, to impact knowledge, to teach them, to be an example to them for them to follow, to teach them relationship, to model the right character before them. And there's so much changing in the role of fathers. But we'll pause here today and we'll come back to this next week. But then we'll take it on a broader scale, not just fatherhood now, but parenting as a whole. So today has been fathers, fathers, fathers. But my guest will be back next week. I'm talking about parenting as a whole, the role of the father, the role of the mother, and what the children are actually looking forward to. I know next week will be so engaging. But for today, thank you so much, sir. It's been enlightening, it's been impactful, it's been thought-provoking. And I know a lot of men out there are saying, wow, the roles have changed. But I will not take your final thoughts because you are back with us next week to the glory of God. Thank you so, so much for this time with you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, I didn't know how to pause. I didn't even know how to even interrupt him. I mean, when you meet an advocate, someone who is passionate about what he's saying, you just know it. He kept at it, very valid points. And just trying to talk about child safety, he went on for the next how many minutes talking about the roles that have changed in fatherhood. Every father out there, we celebrate you. Thank you for all you do for us, but the roles have changed. You're no longer just the breadwinner, you are a lot more. You are the role model, you are the father, you are the friend, you are the gist partner the children are looking for. Until I come your way next week, still with Akinropo, Akinola, we're going to be talking about parenthood on a broader term. Remember, if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And like I will always say, together we win. See you next week. And don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody about Knocks to Nuggets. I appreciate your help. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always being there. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Bye for now.